It's crazy. Lil Kim actually tried to warn people about Diddy way back in the day, but nobody listened. She even spoke out about Biggie, and people laughed at her then too. Now, more and more celebrities are starting to speak up about what they witnessed while working with Diddy. In the past, it was mostly voices like Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright sharing their stories, but they were often brushed off as being too dramatic.
Diddy told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. And she only had one child with Christopher. The other children who required taking care of and feeding and all of that, all of them couldn't be fed off of Christopher Wallace's money. They weren't his kids. See how that works?
Right.
Gene Deal even claimed that Diddy purposely brought Biggie to LA so he would get dealt with.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed, and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you could get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time at LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the sheep? I'm gonna put them out the pasture. Catch them if you can. If you the wolf, if you got that wolf in you, catch them if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album when you know not his Nimitz, but your Nimitz was just by that you was running with? Why would you do that?
Same thing with Lil Kim. People didn't take her seriously, but with everything coming out now, some folks are finally starting to listen.
Kim is more irritated with the fact that, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy look crazy right now. You know what I mean? That's why I said in my Baltimore show, Puffy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you should be rocking with Diddy that hard.
This is 50.com.
If you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you know what I mean? And you can never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, what? You kidding me? It's never going to happen. Like, I don't get it. But at the end of the day, Puffy is Puffy. It's all about what he can do, what he can get from people. That's it. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times, because he never really did nothing for me.
Kim and Diddy became close in the 90s after she joined Junior MAFIA, a group put together by the notorious B.I.G. In fact, it was Biggie who introduced Kim to Diddy, But even though Diddy was both her friend and manager, he never signed her to his label, Bad Boy Records. Why? Because he didn't think she had what it took to be a star. He even told MTV that she was too pretty to be rapping, and that female rappers weren't supposed to look like her.
How'd you guys hook up? How'd you guys meet?
Oh, we met through Biggie.
Yeah, we met through Biggie.
And it's funny because when I first met him, I thought he didn't like me because every time he saw me, he'd lick his tongue at me or he'd make a funny face. But then as the years went by, I saw how much love he had for me. So I love you, Puff, and I'm so happy for you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about you. We hear all the guys screaming. I know the guys have groupies. The male stars definitely have groupies. Now, you must have. What kind of stuff do guys do when they come to your guys' show?
Wow, they do different things. I remember one time I was going to a show in Atlanta, and this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, wow, Lil Kim," and he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder and started running out the airport. I was just really shocked. I wasn't really scared, though. I was just like, oh my God, did you see what he just did?
And what happened to him? No, we don't have to go there.
Even after Kim's debut album Hardcore sold over 1 million copies, Diddy still didn't sign her. He didn't believe female rappers could sell that many records. But the problems between Kim and Diddy didn't stop there. In another recording, Kim said that Diddy always did people wrong, but managed to get away with it because of his money and power. She explained that he never helped her when she was going through hard times, especially when she went to prison from 2005 to 2006 for perjury. While she was locked up, she said Diddy never visited, never wrote, and didn't even give her a phone number to reach out.
For each other, but like I judge by what happens afterwards. When I was locked up, and here's where Puffy should feel really bad. When I was locked up, Puffy never put a fucking $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my commissary. He never wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that. I got people like Oprah. She wrote me 3 letters, right? She wrote me 3 letters and sent me 3 of her favorite books, which I love her to this day for that, because those books were so inspiring. And one of them, well, I'll tell you the name of the books later, but anyway, you know, Tyra Banks writing me. Mark Jacobs wrote me every freaking day. He told me everything that was going on from when he first woke up to the end of the night. What does it take just to say, let me make sure somebody who was a major part of my family is all right? You know, like when you locked up, the one major thing is that makes you feel like, damn, this person really loved me and is on my side, is that when they just take the time out to do one little thing. It's not even the big things that matter, because it ain't the money. I was straight in jail. I had too much money in my commissary. When I came home, they had to send my money back. It wasn't that, but you could have came to see me one time. You could have wrote me one letter.
And if that wasn't enough, while Kim was in prison, Diddy started working with her music rival, Nicki Minaj. When people asked him about it, he brushed it off, saying Nicki was his artist now and that he no longer worked with Kim, even though he still had love for her. To make matters worse, Nicki even threw a jab at Kim in a song with Diddy's group, Dirty Money.
People in a certain way. We've been those cats that people have aspired to be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be around Nicki if I ever heard nothing ever negative said about Kim. You know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing like that. But then when it comes to just being an MC, that's when I gotta stand back. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to do things and be MCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, right now, Nicki Minaj, you know, that's who my artist is. That's who I consult. That's who I do business with. I no longer do business with Kim on that level, but Kim will always have a special place in my heart. And it's like that. Kim is the queen. I mean, read in between the lines what you want it to be. It is what it is. Kim is the queen, and I love Kim. And Nicki's the queen in her own right. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly the way I feel about it. So don't twist my words. Don't make it no way it is or it ain't. That's what it is. And I think they should be doing records together, as a matter of fact, instead of, you know, doing anything that isn't showing unification. But yo, man, I can't preach to the choir. Everybody grown. I done been through my things, and everybody was like, yo, you went through your things. People got to go through their own things, and right now it's that dirty money time. I spoke
right.
on that,
LTG.
and that's what it is, and it's a positive thing, and that's
Be
what
clear.
it is. Be clear.
It's Hot 97, Funk Flex, Diddy, Dirty Money.
And I will never forget the times I had with Kim, and we can have some more times
That's
because
right.
I'm still
we need
here.
to get that last
Shout out to Lil Kim.
She's
Shout out to
coming.
Kim. What's up, Kim? Shout out to Kim.
For real.
And shout out to Nikki. Congratulations on those numbers, Nick.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
man.
Let's go.
Kim also revealed that Diddy blocked her from some major career opportunities. She said she could have been featured on Cisco's hit song, Thong Song, but Diddy told her to play hard to get, and the opportunity slipped away. She believes he was holding her back on purpose. And that wasn't the only time. Kim shared that Michael Jackson himself wanted her on one of his albums after hearing her music. Producer Rodney Jerkins told her that Michael loved her sound and wanted her to join the project. But when they went to Diddy about it, since he was her manager at the time, nothing ever came of it. Kim said she was young and didn't know what was happening behind the scenes. But looking back, she believes Diddy might have sabotaged it.
So crazy. Rodney Jerkins, he was working on Michael Jackson's album, and he was like, yo, I was playing Queen for Michael Jackson. And he was like, man, I love how she raps behind the beat, and it's so sexy. I was like, he said that?
What?
He was like, yeah. So I'm telling you that to say, we're trying to get you on the album. And I was like, what? I think I might, my leg is still trying to recover because I fell out the seat. And
Oh my God.
yeah.
Did you didn't get
So
on
let me
that?
tell you what happened.
Okay.
Puffy was my manager at the time.
Okay.
And when we brought it to Puffy, Puffy was like, Puffy can be a little bit controlling because I'm like his little sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if him and Rodney were going through something at the time, but it just never happened because I was a kid, so I wasn't handling my business. But I remember seeing Rodney and he going, yo, what's up? I've been calling and you don't want to be on Michael Jackson's album? I was like, what? Are you crazy? Of course I do. But I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. So that was a missed opportunity, not due to anything I did, but like, it just, it was out of my control. And I really, 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 really just want to go somewhere and die.
And who knows, maybe Lil Kim knew a lot more about what went down with Biggie to you.
A person to motivate you. He always wanted anyone to succeed. He always wanted everybody to have a better life for themselves. He was just hungry. He just wanted to make the album. If he could get 500,000 fans, he used to say, he happy. That's what he used to say. He was like a teddy bear. He was just so cudgy, and I thought he was really nice. And he had this way about him with women. He was different from and Ready to Die than Life After Death to me. He was a little bit more firm, you know what I mean? Because I guess he knew what was out there after that. He just got a little bit more mature and a little bit more business-wise. Big hated the fact that all of it was going on. He loved Tupac and everybody from the West that he had known. He loved them. He just knew that it was a bad thing when Tupac passed. He felt real bad. He knew that there were a lot of people out there that would probably be out there to get him, whether it's they wanted his money or whether they, just didn't like him because of the rumors. He knew it was people out there who wanted to get him, so he always felt for his safety. He felt the need.
Biggie met Diddy in 1992 after Diddy read an article about him in a magazine. Impressed, Diddy set up a meeting, and not long after, Biggie signed to Diddy's label, Bad Boy Entertainment, right when it launched in 1993. Then in 1994, Biggie released his debut album, Ready to Die, which became a huge success. Sadly, just a few years later, Biggie was gone. He passed away in 1997. Over the years, there have been rumors that Diddy might have had something to do with Biggie's death. Some claimed Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy, and that didn't sit well with Diddy. Gene Deal has even speculated that this was the case.
Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's House. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded nigga like Lil C. Big love. Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother. That's my take on it, man. I don't know if you like it or not.
However, Faith Evans, Biggie's wife at the time, defended Diddy. When asked about the rumors, she insisted there was no way Diddy would have had anything to do with it. According to Faith, Diddy and Biggie shared a bond that even she herself never had with Biggie. She explained that just because people knew each other or worked together didn't mean they were plotting anything sinister. Faith also said that if she or Biggie's family had ever believed Diddy was involved, they would have taken legal action long ago. She admitted that people had tried to convince them to sue, but they never believed Diddy was responsible. Still, many fans weren't convinced by her defense. Some believed Faith was simply covering for Diddy. Back in the day, there were also rumors that Faith and Diddy were too close, which put strain on Biggie and Diddy's relationship. Jaguar Wright even claimed that Diddy hired Faith as a way to get closer to Biggie.
Diddy told her he was going to Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. It's funny, when you ask Faith how long her and Biggie was together before they got married, the story changes every time. It was 10 days, it was 20 days, it was this days, it was that days. I'm not saying that she didn't develop feelings for him. I'm not saying that she didn't care about the father of her son. I'm saying she was hired for one job. Her being involved with Pac in the midst of all of that. But she didn't know Pac was Pac. I mean, come on, none of this shit makes sense. What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do or using them to move them out the way. Struggling artists trying to make their way up, not getting the break that they needed. All of a sudden they stand next to the right guy, and then now you know that guy is dead and they're okay for life. You know how many people in the business that happens to? Ask me how much different Faith life, her whole life career look. How does a woman with that much talent end up married to somebody like Stevie J?
One of Biggie's friends, Gene Deal, said Biggie once showed him a contract for a new label he was planning. According to Gene, the deal was worth around $62 million. Biggie told him he was about to get paid and build something big, something completely separate from Diddy.
Big had a contract, and what happened was when me and Puff rode on the plane coming back down there, Puff gave me his briefcase and everything like that. Like, yo, here, like, me carry this. Say, all right, motherfucker, I got 5 hours, 6 hours on this thing. Let me see what's in the briefcase. And I seen big contract, and it was talking about, well, you get $250,000, you know, for signing. You're going to get another $250,000 if the thing go gold. Then you're going to get this much and you're going to get that much. And then at the end of the contract, I was skimming through it. At the end of the contract said, we're going to discuss about you getting your publishing and your marketing back. Right. So I was asking Big's questions about that because I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know what marketing was. And Big was showing me a contract because I was saying to Big, Big was like, yo, Gene, I like you. I would take you with me, bruh, but you love that nigga too much. I said, love that nigga too much? What the fuck you mean I love him too much? He said, yeah, you love him too much, bruh. I would take you with me. I said, how you gonna take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you broke, man. You owe Mike Gadget $30,000 for the system and them drop boxes he put in your truck. And he was like, yo, how you know that? I said, niggas talk and run their mouth big. Yo, he said, oh, shit. He said, but I'm about to get this money. So he showed me, I said, you about to get that money? He said, yeah, look at this. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Little C's, Little Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy, I don't know, Tracy Murray?
Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee and the commission. And I think the contract was for so many years for like 62 million, it comes out to like $62 million.
And that's where things get more complicated. Gene Deal believes that Biggie was set up, that his death wasn't really a drive-by.
Right? How often do you think about that night? Because when I talk to you, I can tell that, you know, that night, that still get to you. And I can tell, man, that you still replay that night over and over in your head, thinking about what you could have did to avoid Biggie from getting killed.
Sometimes I can't get shit out of my mind, but I have good days, bad days. You gotta realize when you hear the music, I go into a restaurant and they playing the Biggie music and they got shit like on the walls are big. Places I go and I see that shit. And you was put in a place to try to save this kid's life. And I seen the joy, the pain, I seen all the bull unfold. I saw this kid lose his life. This kid died while I was pulling him out the car. He had died, man. That's why I told my life story in my book. That's why I told what I seen and what I felt that night in the book. And the second one is a tearjerker, and it's crazy because I'm telling all the stories in it. So to answer your question, you have your good days, you got your bad days, bro. You was there when arguably the world's greatest rapper was murdered. I wouldn't put nobody in my shoes because I don't feel like they could handle it. If I didn't have God in my life, I didn't have people praying for me, I don't know if I could handle it.
Yeah, man, I know that gotta be hard, man, seeing all these reenactments of Biggie death and seeing these reenactments and these biopics and documentaries and stuff like that. I know that gotta be hard to see, man.
It just hurt because they lie too much, man. It be a lot of the shit lies the way they put it together because they listening to these white boys who wasn't even there. How the hell and I don't want to make this racial, but they take these white boys who wasn't even there and want to use the story that they want to tell, which is not the truth. Wasn't no drive-by. Car was standing there at the corner. We talk about this shit all the time, bruh. The stories they tell, it's not truthful.
It's no secret that Biggie made a lot of money for Diddy, and some people believe Diddy didn't want to lose that. There are even claims that Biggie was worth more to Diddy after his death than while he was alive. Gene Deal said someone from their own crew may have marked the car Biggie was riding in the night he died, making sure everyone knew he was inside that vehicle.
The deal was it for Biggie to lead a vibe party in an SUV with the Life After Death stickers on the hubcaps?
Well, I don't know if Big came over to Andre Harrell with that on his car, but Puff didn't have it on his car. You understand that? So only one that has an opportunity and only one that could have done that was somebody from the street team. Do you understand that? And they are put up to do certain things. And when I never knew it myself, and I didn't know it that night, that those stickers was on the car. I didn't know that till years later. But anytime you see any kind of things like that on a vehicle, on a street sign, on a wall, it comes from the street team. So somebody was put up to do that because they didn't put it on Puff car. And those cars was rented. So to put those stickers on there, you defacing the property. You understand? Somebody got to pay for that. So my whole thing about it is that it was somebody in our crew that wanted them to know that Big was in that vehicle. And to separate it, that's where you get there was more than one people trying to kill us. You understand?
You're right.
That's where you get that at, brother. That there was more than one, different people was trying to kill us. Because somebody wanted to know, yo, if y'all gonna get Big, could go to the car with the stickers on it.
When you go back to that night, right, when Biggie was, how does that feel when you think about it now, knowing that Biggie Killer was watching y'all that whole night, plotting on Biggie?
Bruh, before we left Andre Harrell's house, Puff told me I didn't have to go. Now, I went because I knew that somebody was going to die that night. Somebody was going to get shot. I did everything in my power to stop it from being Puff. And it wasn't Puff. Because that was my principle. The people that was bodyguarding Big didn't do everything in their power to stop it from being big. And that hurts me. Even though it wasn't my principle. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're right.
Bro, it hurts. Every time you hear his music, every time you see one of these murals on the walls, now they got statues. It's gonna hurt until God take me away from here.
Now, here's where Lil Kim comes back into the picture. Word is, she knew what was going on behind the scenes. She knew what Diddy was doing after Biggie died, and she wanted to speak up. But reportedly, Diddy warned her to stay quiet, which might explain why she stayed silent for so long. These days, though, people say she's no longer on Diddy's side and may finally be ready to talk. Now fans are watching closely. If Lil Kim decides to fully open up, she could reveal some serious truths about Diddy, about Biggie, and about everything that went down in the 90s. She was there. She saw it all. Could this can of worms finally open in the near future?